small business that sells resin keychains. If you want to check it out, it's the top link in the description. And all the designs I have is sketched by me. And since I have a design that I'm launching today, I figured I made a video about it. Let's go! Before we start, there are a few things that we need: weighing scale, resin, and elements that you'll add into your keychain. When working with resin, it is recommended that you wear gloves and work in a place where there's plenty of wind circulation. I recommend wearing the latex gloves, but I ran out of those. So I'm just gonna use the normal ones this time. Depending on your resin, the ratios for the resin and the hardener by weight might be different from mine. My ratio is 3:1 respectively, so I'm just gonna pour them in accordingly. I recommend pouring the liquids in separate containers because you might pour in too much on accident and it may affect the final results. After you're done with the measurements, pour in the two liquids together and mix. When mixing, mix the two liquids thoroughly and make sure that you get the sides of the container as well. When the liquids are fully clear and have no lines, it indicates that mixing has been done thoroughly and it's good to go. Done with mixing the liquids together, I recommend pouring a little bit of resin into the mold because adding the flowers first may result in bubbles forming at the bottom of it when you pour the resin in next. So pouring a layer of resin prevents that from happening. Over here, I've decided to use yellow daisies to put in my keychains. As it is not going to fully fit, I'm gonna cut it down to the size that I think would be appropriate for the keychain. Over here, I'm adding in white lace flowers on top of the daisies. This gives the keychain more variety. And you can also play with the order of the elements you're including in the keychain. Don't be afraid of putting in your flowers or elements into the resin because you can always rearrange them later in the process. Over here, I've decided to add in baby's breath to the keychain because again this gives a bit more variety to the keychain. In this design, I've decided to include sequins for the names, and it took me so long just to find one single letter, which was A, because I was trying to spell it Natalie. I inverted the sequin around so that the final product won't have the name mirrored. And it should look like that. Now I'm adding in glow-in-the-dark paint into my resin. In my sketch, I wanted it to kind of have like the marble effect. So I'm just going to take a little bit of the glow-in-the-dark paint. And because it was quite sticky, I needed another stick to help me get it into the resin. So I'm gonna use my other tool to help me scrape it into the resin. For this marbling effect, you can use a toothpick or a pointy side, which I have on my tool. And it's really simple actually. You just use the pointy side and you kinda move it around like that until you get the marbled effect that you wanted. I'm also going to add in some gold flakes. If you have bubbles on your keychain, you can gently heat the surface with a lighter, if not let it cure. To attach the keyring, we'll need pliers, eye hooks, a manual drill or a drill will do, and of course a keyring. Then use the manual drill or drill you have to create a hole on the position you want. You can use a marker to mark it first so that it will seem perfect after you've put your keyring on top. Next, take an eye hook and insert it into the keychain. I recommend using a twisting motion because it secures the eye hook into the keychain better. If it's too tight, you can use pliers to help twist it into the hole. I also recommend using a fouler or a sandpaper to kind of smoothen the sides of the keychain because it can be quite sharp. Over here I'm using a filer that I use for my resin keychains. To insert the keyring, you can use your pair of pliers to separate the top of the keyring, which is that part. I don't know what it's called. But you can use your pliers and kind of separate it so that it has a little gap you can fit your eye hook into. And after tightening your keyring into your eye hook, you're done.